Celebrated Southern artist Dr. Leo Twiggs has been hailed as evocative and reflective. His work tied to symbols of hate and hope. Well, here to share more on this latest exhibit is Dr. Alex Rich, President and CEO of the Gibbes Museum of Art. Glad to have you with us.
Thanks so much for having me.
And welcome. This is your first appearance on this program.
It is, yes, I hope the first of many.
Yes, and we're so happy to have you here representing the Gibbes now. So the torch was recently passed about 7 months ago.
Yes.
How has it been so far?
It's been a whirlwind.
Yeah,
so I was previously in Florida for about 11 years, and prior to that, my hometown of New York. And it's been great getting to Charleston, getting to meet folks, getting to think about the future of the Gibbes Museum as we enter our next exciting chapter.
Yes.
And it's been fantastic. It's been welcoming and wonderful, and no regrets. Only onward into the great future.
I love hearing that. I love hearing that. I'd love to hear more about your impression of just what the Gibbes has evolved into thus far, and I want to talk about where we're headed in a bit, but just your impression of the art scene in Charleston in general.
Yeah, I mean, I often say I'm a New Yorker, and I'm a New Yorker born and bred, and so I feel like I have lived my life immersed in one of the cultural hubs of the world.
Absolutely.
And I have to say, in all honesty, coming to Charleston, I see this flourishing culture and art scene, and that's what drew me to this position, what drew me to want to move to Charleston and uplift our family's life and come here. And I really see a great strength in where all of the cultural scene of Charleston keeps growing and growing.
Yes.
And I really believe fully that the Gibbes can be at the heart of that and can continue to be at the heart of that. With our exhibitions, with our programs, with our new wing that we're building, I really believe that for our community and for every tourist who is flocking to Charleston now, that the Gibbes should be high up on their map, because I think what we're doing is special.
And what I love about the Gibbes is the fact that you can have exhibitions like Mary Jackson's Sweetgrass Baskets, they're just so utterly beautiful. But then you have artists like Beeple coming in and showcasing his digital artwork. So you really have a breadth and depth that it's kind of like all of Manhattan boiled into one little building downtown.
And I see it's we have an incredible team, one of the most hardworking teams I've ever seen, and probably the most hardworking team in the business. And we work really hard every single day to make sure that we give a global experience. The heart of our collection is the story of Charleston through art, and the story of the American South. But also, we know we want to provide a really global intake and global look at art as it compares over time and history. So again, we can have a Rembrandt show, we can have Beeple, we can have Mary White, we can have Leo Twiggs, we can have Rodin. And I think that's important, that we give everybody a sampling of all different diverse ways to think about art and the way it's changed over time, but also really to celebrate exactly where we are, the American South.
And speaking of the American South, you have an exhibit right now, Dr. Leo Twiggs, who his art is absolutely beautiful, and he has been an artist. He's celebrating his 93rd birthday, I think, during the
run of the show.
During the run of the show. So tell us a bit more about him and his work.
So, I am new to South Carolina, and what I've been so amazed by is how many people adore Dr. Twiggs. And his art is absolutely moving and breathtaking, and actually aesthetically and tactilely beautiful, right? We don't want people to touch it, but just looking at it, you look at the depth of his batik technique. And so his work, by the way, which is being showcased now in the first retrospective in South Carolina ever in his career, 50 years after an exhibition of his work at the Gibbes.
It's incredible.
So it's this moment where, full circle, an important moment in his life, an important time in American history also, with the 250th anniversary of our country, to look at the world through Dr. Twiggs's unique lens of both the African American experience and the American experience, all tied together. So there's personal, and then there's also collective memory. And there's just something about his work that speaks generationally and intergenerationally. And I'm so excited for everyone to come through and see, how incredible an artist he is, and how powerful the messages he conveys in his work.
And even for someone who's not maybe, an art critic or art is sort of their first language, just knowing that he was raised in Mount Pleasant, that this is a South Carolinian born artist that tells the story of South Carolina and his own personal experience. So I would urge everyone to go. It's running through May 3rd, right? Okay.
And as Dr. Twiggs himself says, the story of America runs through Charleston.
Yes.
And that's an important part of the tale that is told throughout the exhibition.
Absolutely. So with just a couple of seconds left, what do we have to look forward to in this chapter with you at the helm?
Well, one big exhibition that's coming up in another month is a Rodin exhibition. So if folks know the thinker, one of the most famous
course,
artworks
yes.
of all time, and probably the most famous sculpture of all time beyond the Pietà. That's Auguste Rodin. And so we're going to have 14 Rodin bronze sculptures coming to the museum for 1 year, opening on February 27th. And then beyond that, we're adding a whole new wing to the museum.
So you're enlarging.
We
it's
are.
growing.
Yes,
it's growing with the community.
We are adding another 6,000 square feet to the museum with more galleries and a dedicated education center.
Yeah.
So we're looking toward that in early 2027, and we're the full-blown capital campaign mode, but also design mode.
Can't wait to have you back.
Thank
Dr.
you
Rich,
so
thank you
much.
so much for
Appreciate
joining
it.
us.
Thanks.
We'll be back after this.